Today's video is sponsored by Factor. Welcome back to Outdoors with the Morgans. Kind of a good news, bad news scenario to start things off. First, the bad news. My little Harbor Freight pump is probably not the proper tool for irrigation, but it's not doing bad. That's the bad news. I have a big, gas pump. I just thought it would be a little much for down here. I wanted to water this grass. Now, the good news, the grass down here looks fantastic, and I can't believe it. I fixed this dam on this pond, put the new drain pipe in. I think I finished up a little over 2 weeks ago, and I got everything seeded, and we had one rainfall about 10 or 11 days ago, and it has been dry ever since. I hadn't even been down here, and I thought, I got to get some water on this, because last time I was here, it was just starting to come up, but it looks fantastic. I think it gets just enough shade here throughout the day. It's not getting burnt out. I mean, look at that. Kentucky 31. You can never go wrong with that grass seed. I'm telling you, at least here in the Northeast. After I had everything done and graded up, and I was happy with it, I put a thin layer of pond sediment over top of everything, hit it with the power rake, just used a broadcast spreader, little straw for mulch, no fertilizer, and it's growing. I'm just kind of flooding the top here, pull the hose back. Not a whole lot of pressure, but it's actually, I think that pump moves about 1,500 gallon an hour. That's not too bad, really. But we'll put a little bit of water on here. One of those soaker hoses might be good here. I could stretch that out on here. I just can't get over, though, how well this grass is coming in this quick with no rain to speak of. I know one thing, our yard's all brown, but now is a critical time. That's why I want to get some water on it. We'll be ready to mow down here in another couple weeks at this rate. I'm just going to keep pulling this hose back once in a while. I want to see something here. This little Jackery. Yeah, that pump's pulling 193 watts. This was at about 87% when I started. But it would run that little pump from right now 4.5 hours. And this is just the 1000. This is the small one right here. The water never did get up to the drain pipe yet. It should the next rain. All right, next up, I need to hook up to the dump trailer and head out to Tractor Supply and pick something up for my sister. All right, I got my trailer following me. I'm going to pick up a stock tank. It's 9 feet in diameter. I think 9 feet by 28 inches deep. I'm not sure what she's going to do with it. I don't normally ask questions when it comes to this kind of stuff. No idea. But we should be able to get in the dump trailer. It's going to be sticking out a bit though, I'm afraid. All right, we got her loaded up. A little bit of a wide load. I'm going to pull out in the parking lot here and strap it in there. Wait till you see this thing. All right, I got 1 mile on the big road, and then the rest is back roads. I got one strap just kind of keeping it from rolling backwards. I think if I go slow, it should be all right. Sticks out a little bit, a couple feet. Hey, Arch. Buck.
Buck, say hi.
Melissa.
Hi.
Archie showing off with his stick.
Everybody look at his stick.
Tell him what Hunter's favorite food out of the garden is.
Oh my goodness, the tomatoes. We have like these cherry tomatoes. Well, all the tomatoes. Romano, all the big ones. I picked them, had them in a bowl. I turn around and he's eating them like apples, which I knew he liked tomatoes.
He eats the cherries.
Oh,
like grapes.
Yeah, they're like candy. Yeah, pretty crazy. I just made him a pasta salad and got a green pepper out of it and a tomato, and yeah, he loved that. So.
What you got there, Arch?
Look at that stick.
Well, that's a nice one, man.
Good job, Arch. Axel and Piper, they didn't make the trip down here.
It's funny how they get so. Now he's going to roll on it.
He's going to roll on it so everyone knows it smells like him.
That's great, Arch.
He thinks it's great.
He does. Buck, what are you eating?
A rock.
Well, I just stacked some walnut here.
Okay.
I got Stacy's tank delivered. Got the pond watered. Tomorrow morning, early, I'm going to go out and show them where the new building's going in that drawing that we got.
Okay.
We'll do that. All right.
Okay.
I'll report back in the morning.
Sounds good.
So earlier I mentioned that today's video was sponsored by Factor. And by the way, that's what I had for lunch today, and it was delicious. Now, what is Factor? Factor makes meeting your nutrition goals so easy by delivering fresh, never frozen, delicious, dietitian-approved meals right to your doorstep. With Factor, you can eat stress-free, and like I said, the meals are delicious, ready to eat in just 2 minutes. Choose from a weekly menu of 35 options, including popular options like Calorie Smart, Keto, Protein Plus, or Vegan and Veggie. Also discover more than 60 add-ons every week, like breakfast, on-the-go lunch, snacks, and beverages to help you stay fueled and feel good all day long. Factor cuts way down on grocery trips, cooking, and cleanup, so there's more time for other things. Factor's also flexible. We can adjust the order size, even skip a week when we have a special event or we're out of town. If you've been watching our channel for a while, you know that we stay very busy, and sometimes plans change and you get pulled in different directions, and Factor has been a great fit for our family. Everybody loves the meals, even Hunter, and Hunter's kind of a picky eater. No matter what it is, if it's a Factor meal, he loves it. Bottom line is this: Factor is very convenient and the meals are delicious. Those are the two most important things for me. Head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code 50OWTM to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first Factor box. That's code 50 OWTM at factor75.com to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. All right, I am out here this evening at the future home of the new Woodyard. I had planned on coming out here earlier today, but this one kind of got away from me. We were busy all day long, and then we just finished up with a birthday party for my mother. That went well. We had a whole bunch of people over, and everybody left. Everyone back at the house is kind of relaxing, and I figured I'd come out here and get a little bit something done this evening. So I think I have a pretty good plan for out here. I was just kind of going about it the wrong way. The other day I was talking about how this ground rolled off down here. That would be a great spot to take advantage of and be able to load dump trucks or dump trailers off of the tumbler on the low side. You know, the road will come in this way, have a road break off down there. But before I get too involved with all that, I need to focus on where the building is going to go and then build off of that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not going to move. And what we're going to do, it's a big pavilion, basically double the size of the one we currently have down at the Woodyard. It's going to be 64 feet long and 46 feet wide. On the left side of it, I'm going to have some equipment storage. This end where we're standing right here will be where the sawmill is. At the far end, we'll have a 16-foot wide opening. That way you can carry like lifts of lumber in and out. 14-foot tall ceilings, and we're going to have gutters on it. And we're going to put a cistern tank out here, a big one. The one I have over at the building is 4,000 gallons, so I'm kind of looking into that. We have plans to maybe plant some fruit trees out in here, and it would just be nice to have water out here. We could wash equipment, but we will have both water and I guess you could say off-grid power, because we're going to just use a jackery and solar panels to run lights inside of the building, and probably some floodlights on the outside of it as well. It's just going to be a big pavilion, but we are definitely going to close a lot of it in. We're just going to use white pine for siding. To be honest, metal would be better. It would. But I like the looks of wood, and we're putting big overhangs on the building, and as long as I use a good oil-based stain, actually you don't even have to stain it. You know, there are plenty of barns out there that have been around for 100 and some years. It's just going to get gray and weathered, but we'll put some white pine siding on it, let it air dry for a month or two, spray it with an oil-based stain, and it'll look great. We're going to concrete the entire floor, which I got to talk to Tom from Concrete with the Hosses about that. But their schedule looks like probably about 8 weeks. But they'll have this thing up in a couple, 3 days, I bet you. The crew is unbelievable. It'll be fun to watch. It really will. So for the building itself, looks like I'm going to have to take out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 8 or 9 trees. I would like to leave this one right here. It's kind of similar to the maple I have down at the Woodyard. I want to leave as many trees as I can without them being in the way, just for, you know, shade in the summertime, and they're just kind of nice. But it's pretty level right now. I mean, it drops off that way a little bit. But once we get the trees out of here, we'll strip the topsoil. I would like to get the cistern tank sooner than later, because when I dig the hole for that, it's going to be a big hole, you know, and I can get some good shale out of there for the building site and kind of pad it with that. That's kind of what I'm thinking. But I can kind of cut either way. This is the high point right here, and it doesn't drop off much that way, but it does drop off. So I'll get this all graded up in here. It's going to be fantastic. It is. So once the building's in place, we work around that. You know, put our road in around it, figure out how we want everything. But this will be the first step. right, I just started getting into that pile there, and I realized these couple trees were in the way. There's no sense working around them. They're going to come down anyway. These are 2 maples. I don't have a saw with me. I'll just come out here in the morning, bring a saw. We'll do some cutting. And I'll probably get the big skid loader with a grapple now that I can get into this pile here, and just try to root things out of there, all the burnables, leave as much dirt as I can. But that's 2 trees down so far. I was thinking about, I still may do it, renting a bigger excavator. We'll have to see. These ones are small. You know, there's some big ones in here that need to come down. I can do it with this one. It just takes a while. That's why I thought maybe rent a machine. I got some other stuff I can do with it while I have it, so we'll have to see. But anyway, I'll report back tomorrow morning. Oh, before I forget, I got a question, and I need some professional advice. Those of you that do a lot of food plots, I need your answers in the comments. This is buckwheat right here, okay? Came in real nice, the deer like it. This fall, I'm gonna plant winter rye. That lasts well into the winter. Now my question is, what should I do with the buckwheat? Should I cut it? Should I till it? I know that's not the answer, but that's just an option. What my thinking is, do you crimp it? You know, just roll it all in? This is what it looks like after you do that. You know what I mean? It dies. This would be my straw, basically, help hold the moisture. So my thought is, when it comes time to plant the winter rye, that stuff's cheap. You know, you could put 100 pound an acre down if you want. Hammer this with the winter rye, and then just roll it all. The buckwheat will die off, and the winter rye should grow. Am I right, or am I wrong? I don't think there's a need to cut it. You can see where I've been driving through this one section, what it does, you know? It dies, it breaks off. That will be like my mulch to help hold the moisture. That's what I'm thinking. But for all those that know more than me about this, please let me know in the comments.